Homosexuality is a topic that has been a part of human history for centuries, and the Roman Empire is no exception. The attitudes and practices regarding homosexuality in the Roman Empire were complex and varied, and understanding them can provide insight into the society and culture of that time. In ancient Rome, same-sex relationships were not uncommon and were often viewed as a normal part of life. While there was social acceptance of relationships between adult men and young boys, there were also strict societal norms and laws governing sexual conduct. For example, the Roman Emperor Nero is known for having a public relationship with a man, Sporus, whom he later married in a public ceremony. Additionally, there were laws in place that limited the rights of freeborn Roman males to take the passive role in same-sex relationships, as it was seen as undermining their masculinity. The complexities of Roman attitudes towards homosexuality reveal the nuances of gender and power dynamics in the ancient world. Understanding the cultural and social context in which these attitudes existed is crucial for comprehending the broader history of the Roman Empire. Homosexuality in Roman society. In ancient Rome, the attitudes towards homosexuality were quite different from those in modern Western societies. The Roman society was patriarchal, and the concept of masculinity was highly valued. While the Roman Empire is often associated with heterosexual norms, same-sex relationships were actually quite common. In fact, the Roman Emperor Nero is well known for his relationships with both men and women. His marriage to a man, Sporus, caused a scandal, but it was not uncommon for emperors and other Roman men to have male lovers. Same-sex relationships were part of the social fabric and in some cases even considered prestigious. It was common for older, established men to engage in relationships with younger men, often taking on a mentorship role. In Roman society, these relationships were often characterized by power dynamics, with the older partner taking on a more dominant role. There were also strict societal norms and laws governing sexual conduct, with limitations on the rights of freeborn Roman males to take the passive role in same-sex relationships, as it was seen as undermining their masculinity. These dynamics emphasize the complexities of Roman attitudes towards homosexuality and reveal the nuanced gender and power dynamics in the ancient world. Different types of relationships. In the Roman Empire, there were different terms and categories for various types of same-sex relationships. The most well-known form of homosexual relationship was between an older man, the Erastes, and a younger male, the Eromenos. This dynamic of intergenerational same-sex relationships was not only about sexual attraction, but also involved mentorship and education. The older partner, the Erastes, would often take on the role of a mentor, guiding and instructing the younger partner in various aspects of life, including politics, philosophy, and warfare. These relationships were seen as a way for the elder to pass on knowledge and wisdom to the younger generation. Additionally, there were same-sex relationships between equals, known as symposium relationships, which were characterized by mutual respect and intellectual camaraderie. These relationships often developed in the context of symposia, which were gatherings where men engaged in intellectual discussions, shared poetry, and enjoyed wine. Furthermore, same-sex relationships between slaves and free men were also a part of Roman society. These relationships were often marked by power differentials, as the free man held authority over the enslaved individual. However, it is important to note that the enslaved individuals did not have agency in these relationships, and they were subjected to the will of their free partners. These diverse forms of same-sex relationships in the Roman Empire reflect the multifaceted nature of homosexual dynamics in ancient society, shedding light on the complexities of power, mentorship, and social status. Acceptance and public display. While there were certainly social norms and expectations regarding homosexual relationships, there was also some level of acceptance and even public display of these relationships. Artifacts such as pottery and other artwork depicting homosexual acts have been found in archaeological excavations, providing tangible evidence of the visibility of homosexuality in Roman society. These artifacts suggest that homosexuality was not entirely hidden or condemned in Roman society. For example, a famous artifact known as the Warren Cup, a silver drinking vessel dating back to the 1st century AD, features explicit scenes of male-male sexual activity. The fact that such an object was created and used suggests that there was a level of acceptance and openness towards same-sex relationships. Additionally, literary works from the time, such as the poetry of the Roman poet Catullus, also depict homosexual relationships in a relatively open manner, indicating that these relationships were not entirely obscured from public view. This public display of homosexual relationships in art and literature suggests that while there were social norms and legal restrictions, there was also a visible and acknowledged acceptance of same-sex relationships in certain circles of Roman society. Legal and religious perspectives. From a legal perspective, there were no laws specifically against homosexuality in the Roman Empire. However, the emphasis was on the active or passive role within a same-sex act, rather than the gender of the partners involved. There were also no religious teachings or dogma that explicitly condemned same-sex relationships in ancient Rome. This is in stark contrast to later periods in European history when Christianity became the dominant religion in the region. Despite the lack of explicit laws against homosexuality, there were certain restrictions and societal norms that governed same-sex relationships. For example, there were laws that limited the rights of freeborn Roman males to take the passive role in same-sex relationships, as it was seen as undermining their masculinity. Additionally, the complexities of Roman attitudes toward homosexuality reveal the presence of nuanced gender and power dynamics in the ancient world, where same-sex relationships were often characterized by mentorship and power differentials between older and younger partners. The acceptance and visibility of homosexuality in Roman society is also evidenced by the existence of artifacts such as the Warren Cup, a silver drinking vessel dating back to the 1st century AD, featuring explicit scenes of male-male sexual activity. This tangible evidence suggests that there was a level of acceptance and openness towards same-sex relationships, even though there were certain societal norms and legal limitations in place. Ultimately, the legal and religious perspectives on homosexuality in the Roman Empire were influenced by complex societal norms and power dynamics, shedding light on the multifaceted nature of same-sex relationships in ancient Roman society. Conclusion. The topic of homosexuality in the Roman Empire is a complex and multifaceted one. It's important to recognize that the attitudes and practices varied across different periods and social classes within the empire. Studying the history of homosexuality in the Roman Empire provides valuable insights into the diverse and nuanced nature of human sexuality and societal attitudes towards it. The Roman Empire encompassed a wide range of perspectives on homosexuality, from the acceptance and public display of same-sex relationships to the intricate laws and societal norms that governed them. Same-sex relationships in the Roman Empire were not confined to a single form, but rather encompassed various categories and dynamics. For instance, the dominant Erastes and younger Eromenos relationships were not solely based on sexual attraction, but also included mentorship and guidance, reflecting the intergenerational aspect of same-sex relationships. In addition to these hierarchical relationships, there were also same-sex relationships between equals, noted as symposium relationships, characterized by mutual respect and intellectual camaraderie. These varying types of relationships within Roman society reveal the diverse nature of homosexual dynamics and highlight the multifaceted nature of societal attitudes towards same-sex relationships. Moreover, the public visibility and acknowledgement of same-sex relationships in Roman art, literature, and artifacts, such as the Warren Cup, suggest a level of acceptance and openness towards homosexuality despite existing social norms and legal limitations. Understanding the intricacies and variations of same-sex relationships within the Roman Empire allows for a deeper understanding of the complexities of human sexuality and the diverse societal attitudes towards it during that time.